The music started playing in her headphones at exactly 8 a.m., again just like the past 7 days. Lee Sora looked down at her phone, blinking at the unknown number. No message, no name, just a link and a song, different every time, but always. Perfect, always her. Today, it was a soft ballad, slow guitar, a delicate voice trembling with emotion. The lyrics? She felt like they had been pulled straight from her chest. You walk through the crowd, like you don't notice the stars you leave behind, but I do. Sora bit her lip, heart thudding quietly beneath her cardigan. Who was this? She didn't tell anyone, not even her best friend. Not yet, because for the first time in months, something felt real, and she wasn't ready to risk losing. That across campus, behind the main building, a boy sat hunched over a sketchpad. Soo-hyun, 17, soft hair that curled at the edges. Wore the same grey hoodie almost every day, always carried a black notebook. No one noticed him. No one asked why he ate alone, walked alone, or kept his head low in every hallway. And that was fine. He preferred silence. Until now. His phone buzzed. One word appeared on the screen. Delivered. He stared at it, fingers trembling, then looked down at the lyrics he had written the night before, lines that had taken him hours, lines he'd almost deleted. Again. Sora was never mean to him. She probably didn't even know his name. But for weeks, now he'd watched her from the back row of the classroom, the way she treated the quiet kids, the way she laughed without checking who was watching, the way she looked, tired, even when smiling. He'd seen the real her. And somehow, that was enough to make his heart ache. So he sent the first song, then another, and now she was listening. In class, Sora caught herself looking at her phone more than the board, waiting, hoping. Every time it buzzed, her stomach flipped. Every lyric made her feel beautiful, seen, like someone out there actually understood her. She started, humming the melodies in the hallway, smiling at nothing. People noticed. Who's got you glowing lately? Her best friend teased. Sora just shook her head, but her fingers clenched around the phone in her pocket. That afternoon in the gym, a voice broke her trance. Hey, Sora! It was Han Ji-woo, tall, charming, always surrounded by friends. He was the kind of guy people expected her to like. He smirked. You seem happier. Sora shrugged, polite. Just been listening to good music. Oh? He raised an eyebrow. Like that song you've been playing on loop? Her heart skipped. How do you know that? He leaned closer. I sent it. Silence. Everything inside her went still. What? The songs. They're from me. She blinked, trying to find words. But how? He smiled. Does it matter? He winked and walked off, leaving her stunned. Across the gym, Soo-hyun watched from the bleachers, eyes wide, heart sinking. He had been on his way to leave another song in her inbox. But now Ji-woo had taken the credit, and she believed him. Soo-hyun clenched his fists, turned, left, without saying a word. That night, he didn't write any lyrics, didn't touch his guitar, just stared at the screen in the dark. Every time he typed a message, he erased it. Because what could he say? That the most popular girl in school was being lied to, that the boy everyone wanted had stolen something that never belonged to him, that he was the voice behind her favorite melodies. No one would believe him, especially not her. Meanwhile, Sora lay in bed staring at her phone, the same message from Ji-woo flashing on the screen. Want to hang out tomorrow? I'll sing for you in person. Her heart didn't leap. Not like when the anonymous links arrived. She told herself it was just nerves. But somewhere deep inside, something didn't feel right. Back at school, Ji-woo kept the game going. He started learning the chords, memorizing the lyrics, singing short lines in front of her, testing which ones made her smile, and when they did, he grinned wider, because the songs worked, because she looked at him like she was falling. But Soo-hyun saw everything, and with every fake smile Ji-woo gave her, Soo-hyun broke a little more. During lunch, He sat outside by the vending machine, scribbling furiously in his notebook. Not lyrics this time, just words, messy, raw, angry. I saw you smile at him the way I dreamed you'd smile at me. But he doesn't even understand the words he sings. He's just noise. And you deserved silence that listens. That evening, a new link showed up on Sora's phone. Same number, same format, but the song was different. Piano, slow, sad. The lyrics weren't about love. They were about loss and longing and honesty. It hit her like a wave. She read the message attached. You smiled today. I hope it was real. No name, just that. But suddenly everything about Jiwoo felt wrong because Jiwoo never asked how she felt. He just watched how she reacted. And the boy in the messages, he noticed her. Even the pain. She started wondering who was really behind the music, and why was her heart pulling in a different direction now? The answer was sitting behind her in class, drawing lyrics in the margins of his notebook and hiding a truth he no longer knew how to protect. Sora never said yes. Not officially, but Jiwoo acted like she had. He followed her between classes, sat near her during lunch, showed up near her locker with a guitar slung across his back, humming the chorus from her favorite song, the one that had arrived on her phone at midnight last week. She didn't stop him, but something inside her felt off, like a zipper slightly stuck, like a puzzle piece that didn't quite fit. Jiwoo was charming, always had been. His smile was camera-ready, his voice smooth, confident, and when he sang in front of her, strumming a simple rhythm, people gathered, clapped, filmed. But Sora, she just listened, quiet, still, waiting for a feeling that never came. Meanwhile, Soo-hyun had become a ghost inside his own world. He stopped drawing lyrics in his notebook, stopped writing songs. He avoided the library, the gym, even the art room where he used to sketch after class. He deleted every voice memo on his phone, almost except one, a recording from 2 weeks ago, a demo, just his voice and an old guitar. No edits, no filters, just pain, raw and soft. He replayed it every night, whispering, she liked this, not him. But he couldn't prove it, couldn't be it. Not while she smiled at someone else. Still, every time he saw Jiwoo messing up the lyrics or making some offhand joke that didn't match the depth of the songs, he wanted to scream, to shout, that's not you, that's not even close. But he didn't, because fear is louder than love. One afternoon, as students filtered out for lunch, Soo-hyun stayed behind in class, headphones in, pencil moving, drawing a new image he couldn't stop seeing. Sora smiling, not at Jiwoo but at him. It was fantasy. He knew that, but it kept his hands from shaking. He didn't see her walk in. She had forgotten her umbrella. She froze when she saw him. Their eyes met. His pencil stopped. Her lips parted slightly. You're always the last one here. He nodded. Then looked down again. Do you draw? She asked softly, stepping closer. He closed the notebook too fast. Just scribbles, she smiled. I like scribbles. He didn't answer. But his hands were shaking now. She tilted her head. Do I know? You? He opened his mouth, then closed it. Sora waited. Then mercifully the bell rang. She turned to leave, but glanced back once more, and for the briefest second, he saw it. A question in her eyes. A spark of doubt. Outside, Jiwoo leaned against the lockers, twirling his phone. He grinned when he saw her. So, miss me? She laughed nervously. You really wrote that last song? Of course, he said without hesitation. About the night sky and the empty train station? He nodded confidently. Every word, but something in his voice cracked. Sora narrowed her eyes. What does the second verse mean then? About the constellation shaped like a violin. Jiwoo blinked, then laughed it off. Oh, that? Just poetic nonsense. She didn't laugh. Not this time. That night, Soo-hyun watched Jiwoo's latest post blow up online. A cover video. His melody. His lyrics? Sung slightly off-key with too much flair. The caption read, inspired by someone special. He wanted to throw his phone across the room. Instead, He turned off the light, put in his earbuds, and whispered the lines to himself, because no one else would. The next day, Soo-ra waited behind after class again. Soo-hyun saw her, but this time he stood to leave. She blocked the door. "Do you know Ji-woo?" He hesitated. "Everyone knows Ji-woo. I mean, do you talk?" "Not really." She looked at him closely. "I think someone's lying to me." His heart leapt, but his mouth betrayed him. "Why would they?" "Because the person who wrote those songs..." She paused, voice lower. "They're not loud. They're not cocky. They see people, and Ji-woo, he doesn't even listen." He looked at her for a second too long, and she knew. "It's you, isn't it?" His eyes widened, but before he could speak, Ji-woo walked in. "Oh, there you are." He slung an arm around Soo-ra's shoulders like it was natural. Soo-hyun froze. Soo-ra stepped back slightly, unsure. Ji-woo noticed, looked at Soo-hyun, then smiled. "So what's this? Secret fan club meeting?" Soo-hyun opened his mouth, but the fear returned, thick, heavy, paralyzing. He mumbled, "Nothing, just heading out," and walked past them without another word. Soo-ra turned to Ji-woo. "Why do I feel like he wanted to?" "Say something." Ji-woo pulled her close. "Probably jealous, happens all the time." But he cut her off. "Don't overthink it, I told you. I'm the guy who writes songs." Then he kissed her temple, and she let him, but her eyes drifted toward the hallway, where Soo-hyun had just disappeared. That night, the anonymous number sent nothing, for the first time in 3 weeks. Soo-ra stared at her screen long after midnight. Heart too loud, mind too quiet. And miles away, Soo-hyun deleted the entire folder on his phone. All the lyrics, all the songs, all the recordings. Except one. The first one. Her favorite. The one that started it all. The only proof left that any of it had ever been real. The next morning, Soo-ra played the same song on repeat. The one that had changed everything. The one with the line about the constellation shaped like a violin. She had listened to it at least 30 times now, but this time she wasn't swooning. She was listening, really listening, and realizing something she hadn't dared to before. This song did not belong to Ji-woo. That afternoon she brought it up again. They were sitting under the cherry blossom trees by the courtyard. Ji-woo had just finished playing a quick guitar riff for a group of juniors. Everyone clapped, except Soo-ra. "Hey," she said, pulling out her phone. "Can we talk about this verse?" Ji-woo looked up mid-scroll. "Which one?" She pointed at the screen. "Here, the part that says, 'When silence holds more warmth than sound.' What were you thinking when you wrote that?" He smirked. "Honestly, it just sounded cool." Her smile faded. "You didn't mean anything by it." He shrugged. "Should I have?" Soo-ra stared at him, and for the first time since this all began, she felt cold. That night she scrolled through old messages from the anonymous number. There were no emojis. No flirty lines, no jokes, just links and lyrics. Every song carefully chosen, thoughtful, precise. Almost like the person behind them was afraid to say too much, because every word mattered, because they meant every syllable. That person wasn't Ji-woo, she was sure of it now. The next day, Soo-ra stayed behind after lunch. The classroom was mostly empty. Only one person remained, drawing in silence. Soo-hyun. She approached quietly, not wanting to scare him. He didn't look up. She spoke gently. "You drew me." He froze. She pointed at the sketchbook open in front of him. It was her face, side profile, eyes soft, headphones in, lost in music. His pencil hovered over the page, like it didn't know what to do next. "I didn't mean to let you see that," he mumbled. "I like it." He looked up slowly and her heart jumped. Not because of romance, but because of recognition. Those eyes were the same as the songs, careful, emotional, and hiding. "Did you really write them?" she asked. His lips parted, but before he could answer, Ji-woo barged in. "There you are," he strode over, arm sliding casually around Soo-ra. Soo-hyun immediately stood, backing away. Ji-woo noticed the sketchbook, lifted it. "Wow, look at this. You've been drawing Soo-ra. Creepy much." Soo-ra tried to stop him. "Give that back." But Ji-woo flipped through the pages, smirking. "Guess someone has a little obsession." Soo-hyun snatched the book from his hands, shaking. Leave it alone. Ji-woo stepped closer. Oh, I get it now, he whispered, loud enough for both of them to hear. You thought sending songs would make her love you? Soo-hyun's fists clenched. Sora stepped forward. Wait, what are you saying? Ji-woo turned to her, laughing dryly. Come on, Sora, he's been obsessed for weeks. The messages, the music, the lyrics. He was trying to win you over in secret. She looked at Soo-hyun, searching. Is that true? He looked down, then nodded. Just once soft, almost ashamed. But Sora didn't flinch. She didn't run. Instead, she said, Why didn't you tell me? He finally met her eyes, and his voice, though trembling, carried truth. Because I didn't think someone like you would ever choose someone like me. Silence, the kind that shakes a room more than shouting ever could. Ji-woo scoffed. You really think that matters? Then he turned to Sora, arms out. Let's be real. You want someone who looks good beside you, not someone who hides behind lyrics and pencils. The moment felt frozen. Then Sora did something no one expected. She took out her phone, scrolled, and pressed play. A voice filled the room. Not Ji-woo's, softer, honest, trembling, Soo-hyun's. She looked at Ji-woo. This is the voice I fell for. He paled. Sora stepped closer to Soo-hyun. I thought it was you at first. But the way you talked about the songs, the way you laughed when I asked about the meaning, it was all wrong. Ji-woo's jaw tensed. Oh, please. You're really gonna pick him. Sora turned fully to Soo-hyun. He may not be the most popular guy in school. She reached for his hand. But he's the only one who ever made me feel understood. The entire classroom seemed to hold its breath. Ji-woo laughed once, bitter. Fine, he stormed out, slamming the door behind him. Soo-hyun looked down at their hands, then at her. You're not mad? She shook her head. I'm grateful. He blinked. For what? For every song you sent me when you thought I'd never hear them for real. His lips curved into the smallest smile. I didn't think you'd ever talk to me. She smiled. Back. You sang first. That afternoon they walked together. Not speaking much, just silence, but this time it wasn't lonely. It was warm, like the pause between verses, before the chorus comes back stronger. The school buzzed like a beehive. Everyone had heard. The quiet boy, the popular girl, the fight. Rumors raced down hallways faster than fire. Some students whispered that Sora had been dating both of them. Others said Soo-hyun had hacked Ji-woo's phone. A few believed he had written all the songs, but most didn't care. They just wanted drama, and Ji-woo, he gave it to them. Lunchtime, cafeteria. Soo-hyun walked in, shoulders down, earbuds in. He hoped to get through the line and out without anyone noticing. He was wrong. A chair scraped loudly across the floor, then a voice, too loud to be casual. Well. Look who finally showed up. Han Ji-woo stood beside his table, arms folded, eyes cold. Soo-hyun froze. The entire cafeteria turned toward them. Ji-woo smirked. You got some guts, man. I'll give you that. Soo-hyun didn't respond. He kept walking. But Ji-woo followed, raising his voice louder. You really think you can steal my spotlight? Students snickered. Phones came out. Soo-hyun turned around slowly, eyes low, calm but firm. I didn't steal anything. Ji-woo stepped closer. You sent her songs like a coward, hiding, whispering from behind a screen. At least I talked to her face to face. Soo-hyun answered, and lied to her the same way. The crowd gasped. Ji-woo's face twitched. Then, he said it. The sentence Soo-hyun had feared his whole life. You? Ji-woo laughed, loud, cruel. You really think someone like her would ever choose someone like you? The cafeteria went silent. Sora stood frozen near the entrance, her tray untouched. Ji-woo didn't see her, but Soo-hyun did. He looked at Ji-woo, jaw tense. Then his voice rose, not loud, but clear. She already did. Another gasp. Heads turned. Sora stepped forward slowly, eyes locked on Ji-woo. I heard everything. Ji-woo spun around. Sora, wait. But she wasn't listening anymore. She turned to Soo-hyun. Her voice didn't shake. You didn't steal anything from him. You gave me something he never could. She paused. Something real. Soo-hyun looked down, then back up. I'm sorry I didn't say the truth earlier. I was scared, she nodded. I was too. Ji-woo cut in, desperate. He's just using you, So-ra faced him. No, that's what you did, then louder. So go ahead, keep your crowd, your followers, your fake smiles. But don't ever use someone's feelings like that again. The cafeteria stayed silent for a beat. Then one clap, then another, until half the room was applauding. Not for the drama, but for the truth. Ji-woo stood there, exposed, alone. No one cheered for him now. He grabbed his bag and walked out without another word. Outside, under the bleachers, Soo-hyun and So-ra sat in silence. He kicked at a loose pebble. She leaned her head back. I can't believe I said that in front of everyone, she muttered. You were amazing. I was terrified. He smiled. Me too. She looked at him. You, okay? He thought for a second, then nodded. I think, for the first time, I am. She reached for his hand, and this time, he didn't pull away. That night, no music came to her phone. No anonymous link, no song, because she didn't need one anymore. The melody was already beside her, and he was real. But deep inside, they both knew this wasn't the end. It was just the beginning, because next came the real test. To love each other not in silence, but in front of the world. The auditorium was packed, every seat filled. Final performance day. A music showcase where each club had 2 minutes on stage. The excitement in the air was electric, full of nerves, lights, rehearsals. But for Soo-hyun, it was just noise, because he had not signed up and had no intention of going until So-ra sent a message, please be there. Just to watch, that's all I ask. So he went, sat in the back row, hood up, head low, but eyes fixed on the stage. One by one, students performed. Some danced, some rapped, some forgot their lyrics and laughed it off. And then the final act was called Lee. So-ra. She walked on stage alone, no guitar, no backup. Just her and a phone in her hand. Everyone whispered, why was she here? What was she doing? She took a deep breath, looked straight into the lights, and began to speak. Some of you think I'm here to sing. I'm not. I'm here to tell a story. The room hushed. No music, no laughter, just her voice. I used to believe the most beautiful things came from beautiful people. Perfect smiles, perfect clothes, perfect words. But then, someone started sending me songs, not with fancy videos, not with his name, just melodies, honest, scared, beautiful in their own way. She paused, looked directly at the back row. I fell in love with those songs before I ever saw the boy behind them, and when I did, I realized something. She held up her phone, played the recording. His voice filled the speakers. Soft, rough. Around the edges, real, the room fell into stunned silence. Then she spoke again. Nam Soo-hyun, you're not the most popular guy in this room. You're not the loudest. You're not the prettiest. She stepped down the stage stairs, walked down the aisle, toward him. Slow, sure, but you made me feel beautiful from the inside out. She stopped right in front of him. I choose you. The crowd gasped. Phones flashed, but neither of them noticed, because at that moment, the world faded away and it was just the two of them. He stood, stunned, heart pounding. You really mean that? She smiled through nervous tears, every word. Then she leaned forward and kissed him. Right there, front row, center. The room exploded. Cheers, laughter. Some people stood, others clapped wildly. Even the teachers smiled, and somewhere behind them, Ji-woo, slumped in his seat, alone, swallowed by the silence of his own making. Backstage, after everything, Soo-hyun sat on the steps near the door. So-ra joined him, swinging her legs softly. I think I just ruined my image, she teased. He chuckled. You upgraded it. She nudged his shoulder. Now the whole school knows you're the mysterious music boy, he shrugged. I guess I'm not invisible anymore. She leaned her head on his shoulder. You never were to me. That night, they sat on the rooftop of the school, sharing one earbud each, listening to his newest song. It wasn't perfect, but it was theirs, and that made it everything. In a world full of fake smiles, filtered photos, and stolen credit, they had found something real, not in appearances, but in lyrics, in silence, in truth, and the boy who once only whispered was finally heard.